Yo, 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 welcome back to NSA Bulls Podcast.
Yes, sir.
New week, new
What's
information. How y'all feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good despite a lot of the, what's to come with the Bulls talk, but
Yeah,
pretty good personally.
Well, we're going to cover that because, on this podcast, as we always say, we talk about the Bulls, we talk about the NBA, and we talk about all topics worth discussing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how these Bulls looking right now because they looking trash.
One word, terrible. I don't know, man. We're going to have to really talk about what's going on.
Man, yeah, they look like they just going through some things. But you never know what it is. It could be just chemistry. It can be internally. Like some players might be internally going through stuff. You never know what it is. But we all can say they look bad, right?
They look terrible. they look abysmal. Like, I mean, just not happy right now as a Bulls fan. Okay, where should I start?
Shit.
Where should I start? Let me start. Let me just kick this off by saying, last week we had a conversation about where was they gonna be at the end of the week. Y'all say 3-0. These fools is 0-3. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I will say this though, we always wrong. I said 2-1. Definitely not the case at all. But I mean, just winnable games. That last game, oh my God, against Orlando, Jalen Suggs, his eyes light up every time he see us. He dunked on DeRozan pretty bad last year in Orlando.
Right.
They won that game. And then he games us with Ayo, Vooch missing free throws, and Zach LaVine, bro. What in the hell is wrong with you? 1 for 14. 1 for 14, 4 points, $216 million.
Ooh.
The math ain't mathing. The math ain't math. 4 points. And what did y'all think about his energy on the court? Like, what did y'all take from that? I mean,
it seemed like his head is not in the game.
Well, that one game, his head was not in the game. I can only conspiracize about where his head was at, and I'll talk about that later. But he was not focused on the game. He was focused on something else.
he was focused on a
Clearly, you can't
for
play
real.
professional basketball and your mind is somewhere else.
You know what?
Especially when you're making all that money.
And didn't he have his family there too?
Yeah.
So you brought your kids and your significant other for that travesty.
My question is, did he bring them or did they just show up?
I don't know. Whatever the case is, they was in the building. You got to show out regardless. They weren't watching on TV, but they physically was in the building, and you put up 4 points. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, you getting paid max money. I need max effort. That's insane. That's not cool.
He shot 14 shots.
1 for 14.
I mean, were the shots bad shots?
Yes, they were bad shots. Some of it was rhythm shots that he normally shoot. But he just, but he always shoot usually like bad shots, But the point is that, remember I told you last week, and I owe you an apology about the whole Jason Tatum thing. We're going to get into that. Okay. But remember I said some cats in the league, if they're not scoring, they don't know what to do. Exhibit A.
Prime example.
Exhibit A. He don't know what to do. That's why Billy Donovan took him out the game. He took him out the game, and he got all this energy, and he looking like he all upset and annoyed and irked by being taken out the game. Play better. Play better, or be able to be more of an intangible player. Bad shooting nights happen. Everybody's had a bad shooting night. But what else can you do if you're not doing that? So that's my issue with Zach LaVine. He need to turn that corner because that money you getting paid, it's time, man. No more excuses. I want to hear this. You got the highest contract in Bulls franchise history. That's the highest contract. The Bulls are known not to pay their players, but $216 million, come on, man. You got to give me more than that. And he's capable. That's what makes it annoying. Like, it'd be different if he was a small guard and you kind of get an idea like there's no way he could do as much as we demanded him to do. He's 6'7".
My
I
question,
don't hear that.
my question is, do y'all think he was taken out to prove a point, or taken out because that was the best chance for them to win the game?
I think it was a mix of both. Because as soon as he got out the game, Javonte Green, the energy picked up. Javonte Green was really helping us out. We damn near almost won the game just off of his energy and that fast break dunk that we got.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was nice.
That was like, it's like we need energy plays like that, energy to come in. And Zach, it's like I'm not trying to put us all on Zach, but
Yeah,
what comes with being a top player on your team is great responsibility, and he needs to know how to galvanize people and motivate people and, you know, do little things to, you know, to be effective in the game. Like he kind of gives me the vibe sometimes that he only think about the stat sheet, you know, and if the stats ain't showing it, then it's just like, how do I impact the game? He can find ways to be a more impactful player, and he's not doing that right now. And maybe Billy Donovan got fed up with him. Like, he's like, all right, dude, just sit out. Because I know Greg Popovich would do stuff like this with much more talented players than what we got. You know, he did this with Tim Duncan. He did this with Tony Parker. He sit your ass down. You know, you playing like shit. Sit your ass down. And the only way you going to understand, because, like, the problem is these cats getting paid more than the coaches. They getting paid a lot of money, you know, and it's like a little bit of entitlement. You know, like, I should just, you know, you got to play a guy like me. Come on, man. Come on. Play a guy like you. How about you play better, you know, and wouldn't have that issue.
So the fact the Bulls lost the way they did, right, with the benching of Zach LaVine, do you think that that's more on Zach LaVine's favor? Like, oh, you took me out and we lost the game by 1 point, versus like, all right, you took me out and we still lost. So it's like, I don't know. How do you balance that? Like, if you're a coach?
I think Zach LaVine can use that as a leverage of saying, like, well, we lost because you took me out the game, but that's just not true. Like, we
almost won.
We almost won the game if Vooch just hits one free throw.
Right.
Okay.
You know, so that's what I say. It's room to blame for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but I just think like that just made Zach look better slightly, but in all reality, like, it was a justified takeout. Like, you have to, like, he almost turned the ball over too. Last 3 or 4 minutes of the game, he was throwing a cross court passes, bouncing on people's knees, going out of bounds. Like, I'm like, dude,
He has to be traveling a lot too.
yeah,
They all be traveling a lot. Like,
step.
they be moving before they get the ball. Like,
yeah.
they get the ball and just move and not even dribble.
They take advantage of that.
Him and
extra step.
what's his name? 44 Williams.
Yeah.
Patrick Williams. They do the same thing. Travel.
Yeah, yeah, they all do that. The league in general, they all do that. But you're right. But I'm just, you know, I'm not saying that all of this belongs on Zach, but you are one of our top players, and you cannot play like that. You know, for us to be a reputable team and even a playoff team, because teams got better since last year. For us to be a playoff team,
You don't get exposed.
you have to play better.
You don't get exposed.
Exactly. And my other thing about it too is this might have been the worst game he's had on paper. But he's had bad games, or just mediocre games, except for 1 or 2 this whole season. The game that we went to, he scores 28 points, but, you know, that was just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then he gets 20 points in the fourth quarter against Brooklyn Nets, like, you know, a couple weeks back, right? So it's like, that's
He's a streaky shooter.
Yeah.
But it could be a balance of, like, emotions too, because whatever he's going through.
Yeah.
He doesn't really make smart plays.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Bonehead plays is what they call him. Like, what are you thinking? Like, he just think he's Superman and can just force a play. Like,
My thing is, he been in the league long enough, man. It's time to
have
turn
a little
that corner.
Have a little finesse.
He been in the league about 8
just
years
go.
now.
A little finesse.
sometimes they say like he too finesse, like he too flashy, he too cool on the court.
No,
Yeah.
It's just like, for me, he's just like straight at the rim, a little indecisive. He just dribble around for a while, just pull a three. Kind of know what he's gonna do. He's just athletic, so it's hard to guard sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then he don't even use his athleticism to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
So, like, he doesn't crash the boards.
Yeah.
He doesn't get offensive rebounds. He
Good.
doesn't do the grit work to show, like, my athleticism is why is going to help me over the edge.
And
Because that's the thing with him.
Yeah, just like, on the offensive end, if he had a little bit more craftiness to his game, like a Steph Curry or like a Kyrie Irving, a little more finesse to the game, so you can go to your spots and then use your athleticism when needed. he'd be super dangerous. But
it's his mentality for me. His mentality has got to change. He too much. I don't know. He feels like he could turn it on and off, and that's the problem. And that's the energy I get from the whole Bulls. Like they play real lackadaisy, and then they get to like the fourth quarter. They try to let's try to take over the game now. Like you can't win every game like that. What you gonna say, Austin?
I was gonna say, speak to how his mentality is now. I think you answered it. Speak to how his mentality is now, and then speak to what you would, the ideal situation in your mind.
Yeah,
so you can do from his perspective, like how you feel like his mindset is now, and then go into like the Bulls as a whole, because a lot of people are saying like Billy Donovan, like his coaching like career might be up for the Bulls if they keep playing like this.
I don't think that should
be. People saying like they can trade some players, like blow up the team. Like there's a lot of
Billy Donovan does deserve some criticism, but some of the things we're looking at, that's not a coaching issue. That's a mentality issue. Like he helps with the mentality, but I feel like these players have to take accountability as well. Like you coming out there, if you Zach LaVine and you just got the max money, this is your time to tell everybody, even those who doubt it, like why you got this money. This is why I got this money, and this is the time for you.
Okay, that's fair. But with that statement right there, do you think we're too soon with this criticism? Should we like wait until the halfway mark, or wait for the season to be over to make that determination?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's a good question to ask.
Because everyone's rated off their averages, like the averages of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like
but it's got
everyone's awarded a bad game.
Yeah. Okay. But it's about effort too, though.
That's true. But let's talk about his averages. His averages is 20 points a game on 35% 3-point shooting, on 40% regular field goal percentage. Those are all below. Those are all not good. So I mean, for his pay and his playing time, he needs to step that up, because just last year he was getting 26 a game, or 25, 24.9, somewhere around that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know the exact comparison from 11 games in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that same comparison of what he was averaging. Mm-hmm. You going off the whole season? He left off with 26. So I mean,
well, there is time for him to pick it up. But the criticism is certainly warranted, because even in games where he got the points, he came on way too late. It's like watching some of these games, like, he'll go into the fourth quarter with 6 points. And now he's trying to like turn it up now. And I'm like, listen, man, you can't do that every game. Like you're just going through the motions. You're trying to like. My thing is he's playing sometimes as if like he has earned the right to just wait and then play the hero card like later. Like I'm like, you need to come out the gate sometime and cook. And, you have to do that sometimes.
That's what all good players do anyway. Yeah. Great players, they take advantage of the moment and not just going through the motions to the end.
Sometimes he come off the court like he playing in a rec game. Like he just he going through it. He just he's here, but he's not fully like immersed in.
But you gotta think about the team dynamic. He probably taking it. His perspective is like, all right, we got DeMar here, who's first through third quarter. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna kill it, and then I step in. You never know his perspective. So that's probably why he takes a step back, because DeRozan is there to kind of carry that load, and then he can kind of chill to the fourth quarter.
We don't need anybody carrying load. We just need everybody to just play their role and play good together. Take advantage of every time you got the ball, make a smart play. Either scoring for yourself, be aggressive, be decisive, or kick the ball out.
Yeah. But, okay, this is my criticism, though. Like, that is a good point. And I always like, okay, who's responsible of making that come to fruition? And it always points back to the coach. Like, you got to be able to read the room as a coach. Like, all right, who has it, who doesn't, and whoever I think that has it, let's start getting them more involved. Let's like running more sets to get them the ball type stuff. But with the Bulls, it just seems like DeRozan is the main guy. Like, We're gonna play through DeRozan. We're gonna play through Vucevic.
Yeah, Vooch. I feel like Vooch should be the number one option. Go to the hole pretty much. Put the ball down low. See if he can take advantage of the person or maybe kick it out. I feel like that should be the number one thing because we don't really need DeRozan always trying to score for himself.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with both what y'all saying. It is a coaching issue in terms of reading the room, and I do believe that the sets offensively are not that great. DeRozan is clearly our best player. We already like all in agreement with that, but they always try to give him the ball at the top of the key.
And then with the shot clock running down.
Exactly. Like it's like, come on, man.
7 seconds on
on
the
the
shot
stupid.
clock.
Like you have to create diversions offensively to get your best player the ball. Meaning he's a mid-range shooter, so I don't understand why they don't do like V cuts for him to come off a curl and just get the ball where he's getting in.
Pull up a drive.
Exactly.
Like can just have plays.
He's getting the ball in a pocket area where he can actually be his most effective self. But my issue is he's getting the ball at the 3-point line. You know damn well he's not gonna shoot no threes. He's not shooting no threes. He's gonna shoot 1 3 in a game probably. If that 1 or 2. But he's trying to dribble to get into that spot. And the teams are not going to let you just keep dribbling in. Toronto gave us an example of that when they was like, we're just going to double team you. Like, because we know how good you are, but we're not going to just let you just walk into your shot. And I'm like, how is the coach not seeing that?
Yeah.
And why are you not making adjustments? And
Yeah,
not
I guess
everything got to be like, we got to wait till ball get back. Like, come on. Some of this stuff, like, come on, bro. Like, he might be gone for the whole season. You can't wait for people.
And even if he do come back, he ain't gonna be himself.
And he gonna have to still take time too. Like when he come back, he not gonna come back right out the gate and ready to play. He gonna come back and then they're gonna put him on that process to,
load management.
Exactly. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. So my thing is like we have to get a better offensive set. Zach LaVine has got to be a little bit more attentive to detail. The coach as well. Like everybody takes blame on this, our top guys, and that's the only way we're gonna be able to turn this around. I know it's still early, but I just don't like what I'm seeing. Like what they're doing, and it's just how they losing too. Like they losing, like they getting blown out. Like when they played against the Pelicans cooked us. Obviously we know about the whole situation last week. I mean, week before last when Ingram went off on us in the United Center, but even when they went back to the Pelicans arena, they blew that game wide open. I mean, it was everybody hitting threes. The defensive rotations was off. The ball was just moving a lot. They just looked like they didn't know what was going on. And everybody was smacking threes. Valanciunas smacking threes. Ingram smacking threes. TJ McCullough smacking threes. And then they had another kid over there. I feel like he had a career high on us. I
think it's easy to play up against the Bulls, like no matter how good the Bulls are, just because of the Bulls franchise history. I really think that's true, bro. Like the Bulls, like
cook the Bulls tonight,
right? Like,
I can hear it now.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of teams play up against the Bulls, no matter what their team look like. Like,
yeah,
that's a good game to get up against because. You fuck around like the bull. Your fans will be cheering for the Bulls. They good enough, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Bulls fans travel, that's fact.
Yeah, they do. So you got a valid point there, and I think one thing that you brought up, was that like, people that used to play for the Bulls when they play the Bulls, how excited they are to just destroy the Bulls or just want to, play. The best against the Bulls.
That goes back to Wendell Carter Jr., bro. Like I almost forgot he was a Bull.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he was.
You talking about what's his name? Like he had the most points, 21 points that game.
He did.
Had a very good game. Like he's always gonna circle that on the calendar. Like just because of the whole trade. Like you traded me for Vucevic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the Bulls, I mean, they got a tough schedule ahead of them. The next 3 games, they got a pretty tough schedule. I mean, they got the Bucks, in one of those 3 games coming up. Who else they got?
They play Boston first, right?
They play Boston. Yep, they play Boston. Who's leading the Eastern Conference right now? Which is why I say, Sean, I owe you an apology, as you said. Jason Tatum's a superstar. He's certainly playing like a superstar. I think they like 8-0 since he averaged like 34 a game in their last 8 games or something like that. So he been going off. He been going nuts.
Mm.
And they got the top seed in the Eastern Conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, that's gonna be another tough matchup for the Bulls. And then right after that, they got, the next game right after that, they got the Bucks. And then we already know Milwaukee's tough. And right after that, they got, they got to see SGA in Oklahoma City. And, he gonna have he's playing, all-star level right now as well. So we just look forward to seeing him turn his corner, but it's looking real bleak right now, in terms of like what's going on. And
I mean,
they got a lot of issues with, just personnel right now in terms of like how everything is gelling together right now. So I think there's a little bit of conflict, but I don't think it's too bad, but it ain't looking good right now.
I mean, right now as we have this conversation, I feel like it is coaching a little. Yeah, it has to be coaching because I'm just trying to envision how it might be. Maybe he's kind of timid on telling guys what to do a little bit.
I think
ain't no telling.
I think that's the whole aura of today's league, though. Today's league, except for a few exceptions, most of these cats, they let the players, the coaches are really like the, low hanging fruit. Like if things aren't going right, that's exactly what they're getting rid of, like right away. Especially when they already paid max money to another player.
Or we could at least have like better sets. Like
it goes into
that goes into coaching.
Yeah, but it goes into being able to tell guys what to do, and how to do it.
Yeah,
you can't draw up sets because that's all sets is telling people where to be.
Literally, just roll up something simple. Like be very clear on what you're going to do. Put the ball down low. Run a play, a back screen or a screen to free up Zach. Have DeRozan cut down the middle for the ball after the pass to Vooch.
Yeah,
like it could be so simple if you're just having guys moving.
No, but I think the coach is like, I'm gonna start with let's say Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches like that, I envision like they don't have problems with doing that type of thing, like with their players and having that type of connection, or coaching big personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like even I'm a Doka. Like
I mean, Billy Donovan should be comfortable doing that. He's dealt with a lot of players, but
yeah, he's dealt with a lot of all-star, Hall of Fame level players. And better players too. I mean, he like maybe Russell Westbrook. I mean, come on, he dealt with these guys, so he should be able to do that.
But maybe he wasn't really dealing with them in the right way.
Right.
I would say one thing that makes a lot of sense that has been brought up from like your brother brought it up is the fact that Billy Donovan, his offensive sets, he's always got an isolation player, which makes perfect sense why our offense looks stagnated at times, like, and how they keep trying to get the ball back to DeRozan, which, it needs a lot of work. But my issue also is like, okay, they was down by 16 points last game against Orlando. They fought to come back, and then they lose the game. But here's the real thing. They fought to come back, meaning they know how to play when it's necessary. My issue with them is they wait until they in those situations instead of coming out the gate and playing like that from the very beginning.
But I know
they could have just did that from the very beginning. Who's to say what a game would have turned out? Like that, the issue is that they wait to hit the on button.
But it goes back to coaching because didn't they give Derrick Jones Jr. more minutes in the first quarter, like in the first half?
Yeah,
they took away from Javonte Jones minutes. And they gave it to Derrick Jones as more, because he's been playing good.
Yeah.
But when he found out that wasn't working, he reverted back to the original line, like the rotation, and that's when they started coming back.
I think we have to realize like everybody's situation, because like even with the coaching, he's in a situation where it's like a new situation for an organization that has a lot of talent and put the pieces together. And I mean, it's still fresh in a way because the season is still only a couple games in. But as we view the games, we expect them to win every game. But the league is hard. The league is hard. So it's like, who you really gonna blame? I mean, like it's easy to blame the coach in a way. Kind of easy to blame the players. It's like, I guess this is everybody.
Yeah.
Even us type.
Yeah, for real. I mean, we just fans of this team, and we just want to see them, stop putting themselves in these holes, man. Like, cause once you get out in the hole, and then you have the ability to fight out the hole, that let me know you could have been playing like that from the very beginning. That's how I look at it. Cause if you couldn't get out that hole, you wouldn't get out that hole, and it would be like, okay, it's just getting worse, at this point. But they, like I said, they wait to hit the on button, and everybody here made a valid point. Now let's kind of take our attention and kind of move it off, talking about how the Bulls and how they need to, kind of improve and, what we see out there. But let's talk about around the league, guys. I mean, what are you guys noticing around the league on both conferences right now? And what kind of surprises you guys at this moment right now, like from what you guys have seen?
I mean, right now, like you talked about, Celtics 13-3. I can't really say I'm surprised because I was surprised when the Celtics flipped it on like they did last year. Flipped it. They were having a pretty mediocre season, and then they just turned up. It was something that happened within, it seemed like the locker room, dealing with Smart. I think he kind of called out his guys a little bit. And ever since then, I mean, something like that could make or break the team, and it definitely made it. So they just been carrying that on ever since. So I'm not really surprised with the Celtics. But looking at the West, I mean, it's early to kind of be looking at these seeds. But right now we have to still take into account the Jazz are the number 1 seed in the West, 12-6. The Grizzlies are 10-6. The Trailblazers are 10-6. The Suns are 9-6. Mavericks are 9-6. So I'm a little surprised about the Jazz. I can't lie. Marketing is playing very well. That's pretty much what I see right now.
Yeah, adding on to that, I agree with everything you said. Adding on to that, Jordan Clarkson, man.
I know he's gonna play him.
Jesus, man, that dude, like he balling. He was balling last year for Utah, and they just won again against Portland. They won against Portland, I should say that. They got that number 1 seed in the Western Conference. I mean, they playing really, really good right now. Exception, I don't know how long it's gonna last. Not top seed worthy. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, but for right now, it's nice to look at.
I mean, you know what? It might last.
I mean, they got a lot of good players. They got Jordan Clarkson, Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Mike Conley Jr., Taylor Horton Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Coley Olynyk, Rudy Gay. They got a lot of veteran, like, established players. So
they do. They got some guys too that people wrote off or like just kind of like whatever.
The only thing is, I don't see a superstar on their team. That's the biggest thing. Like, okay,
we've seen teams
they number
like
1
this
in the West, but they don't have a superstar on their team. So it's like,
and we've seen teams like this in the past.
That's true.
Similar to like Utah Jazz and how the Hawks used to be, and those teams that never really had a superstar, and they always do pretty well.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like because there's no superstar and the offense is kind of the ball just keeps moving.
They'll probably be a very good regular season team.
Yeah, they probably get if I probably was to put a number on it, I would say probably like 50 wins, 54 wins maybe.
Yeah,
which is a really good season. I don't know if they'll keep that number 1 seed though. I think they'll be the top seeds, but I don't know if the number 1 seed. It's early though.
Yeah,
but they killing it. They're killing it right now, and we actually play them next Monday after next. So we'll see how that goes. I mean,
it's gonna be a long season.
It's gonna be a long.
I mean, we haven't even talked about the Warriors. They're at the 11th seed right now, so we don't expect them to be down there. We're gonna see how it pans out.
Yeah,
I mean the NBA is tough. Like, you can lose to any team in the league.
You can. I mean, everybody's looking like they having early season struggles. At least the teams that you expect to be playing really well, like you just said. You alluded to the Warriors,
76ers, Heat, Nets, the Bulls.
Yeah, it's I think within about 25 games, 30 games is when the teams that are really gonna be there consistently, that's when those start standing out or you start seeing a little more steadiness with that. I think it just, it's a lot of parity in the league. I mean, teams losing, then you don't expect to lose as much as they are. But the Kings are looking pretty decent right now too.
Mm-hmm.
They playing well. They ain't been in the playoffs since we was like 15 years old. But they playing good right now. And De'Aaron Fox is playing well. Sabonis is playing well. They got some good pieces. Every team has some good pieces. That
the Thunder are pretty on the rise.
Yep.
I mean, the Timberwolves are kind of a disappointment right now. They're 10th seed, but it's early. They still have a 500 record.
Yeah, they got a lot of interpersonal things going on though with Cat and what's his name? What's their guard name?
Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. Like they got some beef going on right there, so that's probably why they could be better. But if they was on the same page, they probably be a better team.
So hearing that makes me wonder if Cats has always been the problem, even with the
Cat always has
Butler
some issues. Yeah,
too emotional, man. And I don't want to talk bad about him because who knows why he's emotional, or if he's in. That's just my opinion. But it's like just from on the outside looking in, it's like, come on, bro, you wear your heart on your sleeve a little too much.
And these cats just want to win. Butler, Edwards,
exactly, bro.
Well, maybe he feel threatened that this kid is coming. This kid is here.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Because Cat had his time to put that.
But everybody
that stamp
knows
in the
you need a
ground.
1-2 punch. You need, what I'm saying?
That could be a young Shaq and Kobe.
Whether you get a 1 punch or the 2 punch, you need a 1-2 punch. So
I don't know. Anthony Edwards is definitely like the future. I mean, that dude, he's a baller, but he plays confident all the time. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I just think we're in a unique era of the league where we just see things shifting. Like y'all said, like, man, you can lose to anybody. Every team is good, competitive, like almost like you got teams you expect to be in the top 4 in the 12th seed, 10 to 12 seed, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
like, even the Rockets, they're 3-13, but they still have young talent. They can get a game.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. I ain't gonna lie.
They could get a game on any given night. Like, it could just turn on. They could click. They're young.
Yeah.
They play hungry.
Yep.
Same thing with the Lakers, though. Like,
they're the
catch
14
the Lakers
seed.
on a bad game, like, you might, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the
LeBron
Lakers
go for 40 on
Speaking
your
of
But they shouldn't be down there, though. That's the thing. They shouldn't be the 14th seed.
But they actually playing good right now. I heard LeBron is out the lineup, but they playing well right now. Anthony Davis, well, at least the last couple games. Anthony Davis had like 38 points
against the Pistons,
16 rebounds. Yeah, he played where he's supposed to play.
I mean,
but
the Pistons are one of the worst teams. I mean, but still,
that's true. They be getting scored on the line.
I don't think he played against the Pistons though. I think he was
he did. He had 38.
Bro,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was 128 Lakers to 121
It's a good
Pistons.
play on word. He said street clothes. That's his nickname. That's Anthony Davis.
And they beat the.
No, I was thinking about LeBron. My bad. LeBron didn't play in that game.
No, yeah, LeBron did.
Right. Yeah, he was.
And then they beat the Lakers. Beat the Brooklyn Nets too. Anthony Davis had 37.
Yeah. So he's strung together some games.
That's expected though.
That is expected.
Like at this point, you gotta kind of put up 30 plus against premier teams or even bad teams. So
and they lost to so 2 games ago they lost to the Sacramento Kings. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis had 24.
If he scored 30, they winning type shit. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean they lost by 6. So yeah.
Yeah. So. We'll see how the rest of the season goes out like everybody else. I mean, just a lot going on right now.
Surprisingly, the Wizards are playing okay.
Yeah. They playing good. They playing good.
Said, they got talent, though. They got a lot of good players. Bradley Beal ain't no bum. You got Kuzma at support. And you got, who else? They got that Japanese player. I forgot, Japanese-American player.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but he be balling, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they got some good pieces over there, too. Yeah, every night, man. I think, and then over until like Miami, I think Kyle Lowry had a triple-double. He put up a good game.
You just gave it up for Kyle Lowry. That's a shame. That's surprising right there.
I mean, I mean, if he plays well, I'm gonna say it. Okay. It's just that, like, a lot of times he putting up donut games. Especially critical games, nationally televised games.
I'm actually surprised he put up a triple double. That's crazy. I said, man, I'm surprised he put up a triple double.
Yeah.
And we should have went for Bradley Beal.
No, Bradley Beal didn't want to leave Washington. he's loyal to the soil, but
Loyal to the soil.
but the thing about him is that like he about to put himself in obscurity because like Washington is not going anywhere. Like I mean, not
He just probably want to be the man of the team.
probably, and that money talks.
He comfortable. Wife probably put up.
To my wife, I put up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He probably like skip it. I'm in the NBA. I'm doing what I love.
Nobody's taking my spot.
I'm the number one option. They gonna build around me.
Exactly.
They paying me well.
Exactly.
It's my team type shit.
We in Washington.
John Wall gone.
We in Washington, baby. Until.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. I mean,
But I wish it would have been nice to see him in the Bulls. I mean, if we could have swapped him for Zach LaVine, bro. Like, to be honest.
If Zach didn't sign, let's say in that situation and Bradley Beal was still available on the market, like give that money to him.
Yeah, because Bradley Beal got a little bit more dog in him,
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm trying not to. I'm not gonna give up on LaVine. I'm just really frustrated with him right now, and I think it's warranted. He needs to play better. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Like the league is, like you guys said, it's a lot of talent.
Every team is stacked.
Every team got us a guy that can get you 30, 35 points damn near.
Pretty much.
It's just, this is why it's important for your guy to
show up.
Always be on, exactly. But it's also important too to be mindful defensively because not every night you're going to be able to put up 25 to 30 points.
The person you're guarding shouldn't be cooking you.
Exactly.
Like, you should be taking it personal that you're one of the best people on the team and your guy getting 30 points.
Yeah.
Like, bro, care.
Exactly.
Care a little bit more.
Exactly. This can't be a trade-off like I got my buckets. Like, no.
Even still, like, you should take pride in locking up your guy.
Exactly. Make that other guy inefficient. But, guys, I think it's that time. I think it's that time. We got a lot of, people that scored a lot of points this week.
Yes.
And I think it's that time to list out the certified bucket getters of this week. I got a good list for y'all. I'm just gonna have to read it off. It's so many names. So we got Darius Garland. Darius Garland comes back with 51 points, 6 assists versus Minnesota, but he holds an L in that game. They hold an L, they lose that game. But 51 points, I think the man hit over 8 threes in that game, but just played phenomenal. Right after that, we got Curry, another 50 ball.
Damn.
Steph Curry scored 50 points against the Phoenix Suns, and he took an L. So
can we just dive into that real quick? Just the
go
Warriors.
into that.
Like, do y'all think like the Warriors should switch it up by making the move, by making a trade? Just real quick, because do you think they're? I don't know. Curry's playing like the best. Like, he's playing really well. Do you think they're wasting his talent, by not making a move?
No, I think. Well, if they make a move, it'd probably have to be Draymond because I think he messed the locker room up with that punch. I think he messed the locker room up because, and quite frankly, it's about the Kumingas and the other guys underneath him. It's not just about winning a championship. Like, those other guys are younger. They don't respond and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't the Kobe generation where you just, hit somebody and they going to be cool with it, or they going to get over it. Like, these younger kids, they saw how he did Jordan Poole, and they probably whatever, and it shows on the court.
Whatever.
Like, the Currys of the world, they got the mindset to get over that. Clays of the world, they got the mindset. They've been in the league long enough to get over that, right? But Draymond don't understand how far he went with it, and that's his problem. It's like he's much needed, but he takes it a little too far sometimes, and he doesn't understand the effects on things until it's already done.
Not everybody gonna understand his point. Not everybody gonna understand his point.
Exactly. Not everybody gonna be cool with that.
I mean, it's not really a good thing that he did it, but nowadays it's people a little softer. Exactly. And I mean, just talking about this, Jordan Poole only had 2 points in that game. 27 minutes and 2 points.
See what I'm saying? And I mean, I feel like he messed up their chemistry a little bit when he decided to pull moves like that. It's not just about those two, Draymond and Poole, and how they handle it. It's about the team and what the team feels like. You know, the team might not be comfortable. They're probably gonna keep Draymond at bay. Like if you're a teammate, some people will be like, yeah, like I'm good. I'm cool with Draymond. We play together, but I'm not trying to be his bro. You see what I'm saying? And then that starts to show on the court sometimes. Yeah. Like I'm cool with him, whatever.
It almost feel like
I'm gonna do enough not to like cause an issue, but I don't want to deal with this dude.
It almost feel like if you say something to him, you gotta be ready to brawl. You gotta put your dukes up. If you say you trying to call him out, so
yeah. But something like I said, like
people ain't gonna be
roster.
You know what I'm saying? People ain't gonna be ready for that. Like you gotta kind of. He got the whole C, like the captain on his jersey and shit. Like, you know, Kuminga and all them names, they ain't gonna say something.
Yeah, well, the Moody's of the world, like these are all young talent. They're trying to groom the next talent, and Draymond is getting in the way of that because he's. You know, he's being Draymond.
But you never know. Maybe he's not getting away because Jordan Poole had 36 against the Spurs.
Yeah, he did. He had a good game. But what I'm trying to say is like for a team, their defense is really bad. It's not like last year. And they lost some pieces with Gary Payton Jr.
Right. What happened why did they get rid of him?
Well, Gary Payton got a max deal with Portland, I believe, or I forgot another team. But they offered him more money. It was just a money thing, which, you know, that comes with the territory. But, you know, going into the season, you know, when you got stuff like that happening, it's going to probably take time for people to, like, you know.
Step up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and chemistry is a big thing of why you win in the league, you know. So, you know, but continue this list, though. We got Shai Alexander.
Yeah.
This dude be killing. 42 points, 7 assists, and it all came on a game winner, too.
Against who?
Washington Wizards. A step-back game winner. So
he hit that shot?
He hit the shot. Hit a step-back game winner. There's still some seconds left, so technically a buzzer beater, but it's a game winner. But he's been going nuts. Super nuts.
See.
Then we got DeMar DeRozan with 41 points in that game against Orlando. He shot over 50%, 53% from the field. Then we got Devin Booker. Okay. Devin Booker had an amazing game against the Utah Jazz. He put up 49 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. But again, it came on an L. So a lot of these performances you're seeing are coming off L's. But individually speaking, they are phenomenal. You putting up 49 points, 50 points. You know, I mean, it's definitely
anybody putting up 50 points is wow.
Yeah, exactly. Then we got another name that we so used to seeing on this week to week segment is Luka.
I knew he was gonna say.
We got Luka with 35 points and 11 rebounds against the Clippers and a step back, game sealing bucket in Dallas. So, you know, you expect to see a man that's averaging 36 a game for the season.
MVP.
Like 9 rebounds and 8 assists.
I can see it now. He's going to get MVP.
He's going to get the MVP, man. I feel like he is as well. It's incredible what this dude is doing. But at that top spot, the top spot for certified bucket getters of this week has to go to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid put up Wilt Chamberlain-like numbers in this game.
Against who?
He put against Utah. So Utah been getting cooked a little bit individually, but then they will come out with wins, but not this time. Joel Embiid put up 59 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists,
11 rebounds,
and 7 blocks.
Damn.
And 7
You
blocks.
said that quad?
So he put that up, but they also came in a win. So he's the only one.
59 points.
59 points.
That's
with
a
that
hefty
stat
number type shit. That's a hefty number.
And he did that in a win. So that's why he get that top spot. And then, you know, you just said it earlier, special shout out to, kid on the Warriors that we're just talking about, 36 points.
Jordan Poole?
Yeah, Jordan Poole put up 36 points in that game. But, that's just a special shout out for him. But that top spot, Joel Embiid, 59 points. 50. It's incredible. With 7 blocks and 8 assists. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. He put up a spectacular game. But yeah, it's a lot of guys, that's cooking right now, individually speaking, and it's continue to be that way. Every week somebody's gonna be having a great game. So, so what did y'all feel about what y'all saw individually or those stat lines?
Luka MVP. Unless somebody else gets it because they have a better record and they close out the season really well.
Yeah.
But from start to finish, I feel like Luka's going to be pretty consistent. But, I mean, you got guys like Tatum. You got guys like Giannis, Booker.
It's going to be hard for Giannis, like it always is for, like, back-to-back league MVPs to win again.
I mean, or
It's
even,
gonna be
what's the
hard for him
name?
to
The
win
Joker.
again. It's going to be hard for him to win. I don't think he's going to win again.
I mean, shit.
He
I
can
was
be in the
surprised.
running,
I was
but
surprised he even won again.
Well, his numbers are incredible.
I mean, but he could damn put up same numbers, even better.
Yeah.
I think it's between Embiid and Luka. Common denominator for all these weeks been Luka. He been on that list every week type shit.
I don't feel like Embiid gonna get it though. I mean, he could. He deserves one maybe. Yeah. I mean, every time he lost to the better player, statistically.
Yeah.
I do like his game though, so I want to see him get one. But I mean, there's other players. I mean, unfortunately, he's in the league at the same time as a lot of centers.
Yeah.
Really great centers.
I feel like Joel Embiid is getting that Patrick Ewing effect. Like, Patrick Ewing was putting up great numbers. He was just in the league with Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody got to be
it's
number
like,
3.
It's like, what can I do? And these cats over here are just that, like, better.
Giannis and
I'm nice, but these cats are just nasty.
Giannis and Joker.
Yep.
In the league with them right now. And they both big men.
Exactly.
They put up crazy numbers. Even sometimes better numbers than him.
Exactly.
They got better teams.
Yeah. But I think this is MVP is Lucas for the taking. I mean,
sure.
I mean, it's just hard to argue them numbers, man. 36, 9, and 8. Unreal, man. 36, 9, and 8. Wow. But I gotta say Tatum will be in there too. I say Tatum because that record.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep it C, especially with them having a coaching issue,
they're
gonna play the vote getters are gonna play that into that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, well, they have to deal with animosity here, and some acrimonious relationships with the staff and the coach or whatever the case may be. And he still was able to find a way to get his team and galvanize to the number 1 seed in the East with averaging XXXX. That can catapult him in there with that. But Luka is definitely doing his thing too, so we'll see what happens though.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. Call it like I see it, and I see a lot, but I want to stick to the Bulls because I love the Bulls and I want to see them shine. But what I see right now is very, very bad, and I want to emphasize very, very. They cannot get it together on a lot of aspects. We talked about this. Who's to blame? What's going on? Whose fault is this? And right now it's everybody's fault. But we can't even really put a finger on it ourselves because we don't have enough fingers. I mean, right now I'm a little concerned, and I mean a lot concerned, because the NBA is very tough. Teams, like we just talked about, they look to play the Bulls. They want to have big games. That's what it seems like all the past of the NBA. So you picked the wrong time, Chicago Bulls, to be bad right now, because last year was a very good year, and it was surprising, a breath of fresh air. But right now, I don't know, So I'll call out. I'll just call a lot of inconsistencies. And I, as we were doing this and talking about this, I really do feel like it's coaching. And also Zach LaVine. Probably the main two, if you had to put blame on anybody. And I'm not putting blame on them to shame them, but just to hopefully they can just get better and step up and get back on track, because the season is not going to really get better, especially when you're playing like this. That's all I got to say.
I feel you on that, man. Man, call it like I see it. Keeping it real. Straight shooter. Yeah.
You want to expound? Like, so what you...
I mean, I agree with everything he said.
I'll follow up. So
Zach, you got to get off that bullshit, bro. You got to get off that bullshit, man. I don't know what the hell you doing, but you got to stop with that, that energy got to stop, So, but individually speaking, just team-oriented wise, there's a lot that we have to fix internal But this is his time. I mean, you are one of the top players on our team. You are the highest paid player on our team. You are the highest paid player in Bulls franchise history. As I said earlier, it is time. That money comes with leadership. That money comes with, attitude adjustment. Like that money comes with responsibility. It's time for you to turn that corner. You're no longer considered a talented player with potential. We need results. We need results now.
We need defense.
We all heard of the saying ROI. Need a return on investment. So like I know bad games happen, but it's not just a bad game. It's like, what else are you doing on the court to offset a bad shooting night? And that's why Billy Donovan pulled you. And that's what I feel like, he just doesn't understand winning energy, winning mindset, and how to do the little things that matters on the court, which are major things. So it's time that he take another step in that direction. There's players on our team that he can look at and see, okay, they do that, like Caruso's of the world, and he can bring an energy close to that. I mean, everything with Caruso is not talent. It's all like energy and effort.
Javonte Green,
same thing.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Why are we putting all of that pressure on them to do that and then I just do the scoring? That's insane.
And then you're inconsistent with the scoring.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to do that, you better be giving me 35
I mean, and that's why we don't even talk about how DeRozan lacks in defense, because offensively he's still pretty much there every game.
Exactly.
If he was doing the same thing offensively that Zach is doing, of course we're going to highlight his defense and his lack of scoring.
Exactly.
We want DeRozan to play better defense, of course, yes. But at least he's putting the offense up.
Yeah. Exactly. He getting 41 points out of games, and and this is like what we've come to expect from DeRozan. But DeRozan has an expectation, and so do you, Levine. We got an expectation. Bulls fans, we're not gonna put up with that. I mean, you're gonna get ridiculed, for playing like that. And now that you are on a team with somewhat expectation, it comes with the territory. It's time to step it up a little bit more. And Vooch, I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I know people miss free throws. I know that happens. But you can't miss both of the free throws. You just needed one free throw. One free throw. And you couldn't convert. But you always shooting them threes. You always shooting those damn threes, man. And I'm like, come on, man. So
one free throw.
Just one. That's all he had to do, and he couldn't get it.
Shake it in his boots up there.
It's just one game in the regular season. That's what they all say. But my thing is that like a lot of this has been permeating throughout the season so far anyway. It's just that they just lost badly in this game. They'll lose other games or they'll get blown out or whatever the case may be. It's just the way they lost this one really stings a little bit more because the game was in our hand. And all you had to do was a couple little tweaks and it wasn't done. And then they ended up losing the way they did. Yeah. What do you think? About that?
I agree with y'all, man. We on the same page just as far as performing, especially when you got the contract to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little backwards because you get the contract because of your past performance, and then once you get the contract, you start playing like ass. But it doesn't matter because it's guaranteed, right? So it's just a little. That's the responsibility and accountability that I feel like a lot of people speak about when it comes to like franchise players playing like shit. So I think like, yeah, that's where a lot of this gripe is coming from. But I think you said it. You said something like champion mindset or winner's mindset. And I think a lot of players need to just stay in tune with that. I mean, if you're in the league, there's a chance you've been successful at hooping majority of your life. You know what I'm saying? You've been the best. So it's you gotta stay in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You gotta believe you the best out there. You know what I'm saying? This kind of like transitions into my segment.
But that probably messes up their ego when they're not the best, when they used to be the best, and they come in the league for everybody's dogs and everybody's the best.
Exactly. It's a level playing field, but you still gotta believe you the best. You can't. I mean, and I don't know if y'all saw the interview post game. You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine's up there talking like he he's the dog. He's no, you know what I'm saying? He's that dude, but you gotta have it show on the court as well. You can't just be all talk. You kind of gotta back it up by your performance. That's why we're going back to performance. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Like, it messes with their ego. Probably does when, you know what I'm saying, you taking L's. You know what I'm saying? The competition's tougher. You're not really able to impose your will like you was before, like in college and AAU and high school. But
even last year.
But I think he needed he needed a damn reality check though. He needed that. I mean, you gotta be able to, if you a coach, you gotta be able to let these players know, like, listen, like, we know we in a players league. I get all that, but I still got a position to play as well too. And if you playing like that, like he was, not helping offensively, not helping defensively, almost getting turnovers, almost losing the ball fun. Like, when you playing that bad, you're going to have to take a seat. You're going to have to take a seat because now he knows in the back of my mind, the coach will pull my ass if I keep doing this shit. Maybe that some people need a little fire on their ass, man. Sometimes it has to go that way. I mean, like I said, better talent has been benched. So, I mean, he need to reel in that bullshit he doing and realize, like, listen, maybe I was worth benching. You were worth benching. And that's my problem with him. It's like all that attitude, but it ain't showing. It'd be different if he was just having, you know, an average game and they sat him. Okay. You got a little bit more weight to, you know, on that. But I'm like, come on. Yeah. 1 for 14, 4 points. Come on, bro. Like, that's not it.
You know what? I think this week y'all hit it on the head. Like, I don't really have a segment. I'm just gonna speak on like this whole champion mindset. Like, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, all the Vucevic, they gotta believe they the best players every single night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure we all had instances where we had all-star mindset. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on the court, whatever, like, you see the opposing players, like, man, we finna dog walk their ass. Like, they gotta have that kind of energy every single night, and they gotta have that chip on their shoulder. So I feel like that type of energy needs to be seen. Like, there's no excuses. Y'all play for the historic Chicago Bulls. Like, channel that energy and kind of lay it out on the floor.
Toughen up.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop looking for fouls.
Stop playing late. You know what I'm saying? Playing up to your competition.
Go crazy from
the opening tip.
Opening tip.
Just go. You know what I'm saying? Just go play like that.
And you know what? That's not the league that we in no more. And it hurts my heart because we just don't see that passion that I grew up watching on my television when I was a kid.
Exactly. There are players who still do it, like Jimmy Butler. I mean, like, there's guys who have that grit. That's what I be talking about. That grit. Caruso even got it.
I mean, but
Caruso even got grit. My thing is like, you got a guy in the locker room that know how to be an intangible player. Why aren't you learning from him?
Right.
Why aren't, like, you've been playing with this guy for over 100 games now.
I mean,
I'm just like, why are you not learning from that?
If he don't care.
You've never seen it, but now you see it day to day.
He don't care.
That's my problem.
Some people anti for whatever reason. They just don't respond to certain, you know how to say, lead by example. Like, they can see somebody leading by example, but they just so anti where they
they don't want to broaden the horizon.
You don't see LaVine diving for no loose balls. You don't see dirty work stuff. And that's the problem. It's like that echoes out to the team. You're going to have guys that can get away from that and, you know, notice that they're best players in doing that and still give that energy like Caruso, because Caruso been around better talent and he's been around other guys and won a championship, you know. So
he know what it takes.
That's that mentality. He knows that these things matter in the course of a game. You know,
exactly. Certain talent varies. Like, everything's a spectrum, right? You got talent that varies. Somebody can be very good. It's all the same spectrum. Like Caruso, he can be, his grit is on 10. His talent might be on like a 6. You know what I'm saying? Whereas LaVine, his talent is 10, but his grit is like 5. Right. So it's like that's gonna show, like, day to day, of different circumstances. Who knows what could happen? Like, you could have a bad family night. And then, you know what I'm saying, something throw you off, and then you might play bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you can't let that get to you. I'm not calling out with it for.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to be a little tougher on these guys. Unless somebody is low-key dying in your family, bro, your head should be in the game.
Yeah.
Low-key.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
And I'm worried that there's no one in the locker room that holding people accountable. You alluded to Marcus Smart earlier when you said how he got in the Celtics' ass. He said these cats are just playing isolation. They just ball.
We need that right now.
Right now, all of a sudden they started making a little bit of change. Everybody, like every team needs a guy like that, like a Draymond Green or Marcus Smart. We need a guy that will be like, dude, get your head on your ass. What are you doing? We need that. It seems like everybody seemed like they tiptoe around each other. I don't want to say that. I got too much respect. Yeah, man, get out of here. Yeah. Like when you got respect for a player, that don't mean you can't tell them straight up. Like, listen, that ain't cool.
That just mean they ain't thinking about winning as much.
Yeah. That might be the thing. They too cool for school.
And the thing is, if you going through family situations, we seen great players go through family situations and then channel that on the court. Because if you a hooper, like, and you grew up hooping is still fun. You know what I'm saying? You can pull out your frustration on the court and like cook your defender, and it feels good. You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul, when he was in high school, he put all those numbers, like a lot of points off of his grandfather. Like
Isaiah Thomas
with his sister. I was thinking about that too.
Joe Dumars was in the finals and put up over 30 points, and then his dad was dying in the hospital.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these players. You got like two different players. You got a hooper that is a hooper. Just love to hoop. He gonna do his job when he get on the court. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do what it takes to win. Then you got another guy that's just good at hooping. You know, he just got the body for it, the height, the frame, the athleticism. You know, he ain't got that dog in him, but of course he gonna be on the court because he fits, because he can do everything.
Agreed. But mentality change, that's what the Bulls need, and we'll see how they respond to that loss that they got, because that was a very sour loss. I mean,
they should be taking it. They should be taking this stuff personal.
Yeah. Got to. That's how you win. Well, all I gotta say is, we covered a lot with the Chicago Bulls in terms of our frustration and what we want to see, in terms of what they need to do to turn around, and it's a mental thing, as we already kept alluding to. And once again, Zach LaVine, you not hooping, you need to hoop. We need, like what you just said, Shine. As much money you got paid, we need points. To equal up that money. We need 16 million points.
We need as many dollars we need as many points as you got dollars.
Exactly. So it's time for you to hoop. It's time for you to play.
Number 8.
Time for you to play, man. I'm getting a little fed up with that, man. But Austin, you got anything else you want to say to wrap this up?
I just reiterate my point about the all-star champion mindset. Those three, Vucevic, I won't just put on LaVine, but Vucevic, DeRozan,
they can all play better,
and LaVine need to play like they the best ones on the court every single night, basically.
Facts.
And DeRozan, you can play a little bit better defense.
I
mean, you putting up killer numbers, but
and just know and read the room. Like, don't let the coach read the room for y'all. Like, if you're going against the Orlando Magic, this is Vucevic's old team. Like, whoever got traded for them, like Vucevic is gonna have vengeance on their heart, bro. They gonna play their hardest against you. So the fact that y'all been playing catch up that whole game and then come back just to lose by 1 point, like that's unacceptable on your home court. But I think that was the Magic's first road win or something like that. That's unacceptable, bro. Like, y'all can't be.
And this is Chicago. We don't even like catch up.
Not in your hot dog.
So don't play catch up.
Don't play catch up in Chicago. Just relish and peppers and onions.
No, Chicago. It's time for y'all to turn the thing. We got some interesting games coming up. We got Boston. We got the Milwaukee Bucks, and then we got Oklahoma City. And then we got next Monday on the 28th of November, we have Utah Jazz, which is the top seed in the Western Conference. But it's been a good episode, y'all. NSA Bulls Podcast. Episode 4, Season 2 is in the books. See y'all next week. Have a good one.
You did.
And if you made it this far, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to start a TikTok soon. So catch us there as well.